I hope this finds you all healthy and happy. And I'm here today to share with you my art journal that I've made. And the reason that I made this art journal is because this year I'm going to take part in Nina Ribena's art journal prompts and more. And this is the art journal. Since I didn't, have an art journal. I have one that's like really huge, but I didn't want to, for this, I'd like to try to get at least one prompt done per month, and so I didn't want to be intimidated by the size of the journal, so I just decided I would make a smaller one. And this cover is the cardboard from a mixed media or watercolor paper tablet, I think, and it had a little bit of a spine to it. It actually went this way, and the pages were that way, and I chopped it off, of course. Had a very nice, fairly heavy card top, and it has a really nice sturdy back. So I just cut my paper and folded it, in half, and I've got it attached with two little pieces of elastic. I put a couple little beads on the end of the elastic, and I wanted it to be just elastic so that I could take the pages in and out and work on them and then put them back in the journal. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep up and do at least one a month, so I will come back and show you what I have started or what I have going for this month. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about the cover of this. I found this paper in the Dollar Tree, and I love the pattern of it. I just love it. And so on the outside I covered it, and then I went over it with an acrylic glaze sealer, and I like the finish that gave to it. It's a bit shiny, but not real shiny. But here in the center, then, I did use Mod Podge, so that's a little bit shinier. I have put some coffee filters down and some tea bags down as well, and I like that. And then it sat for a couple days, and then I decided I would go and put a little bit of jute twine, and so I wound that around and glued that on, and so then after that it sat for a couple days. And I also put the little jute medallion on it here, and then it sat for another couple days. And then I was over at my son's, and he is working on building his family a dining table, and he's building it out of black walnut, which is a beautiful wood. If any of you know, my dad was a carpenter, and my brother also does woodworking and cabinet making and that type of thing, and he actually made the desk and the cabinet that I'm working on right here, which I'll have to show you someday. But anyway, because he built them especially for this little area that I have here to work in. But anyway, black walnut is a beautiful wood, and my son was shaving the boards down to make them straight, and some of these slivers came off and kind of landed on the floor, and I asked if I could have them, and he looked at me like I was crazy, of course, which kids will do to you a lot. But anyway, he's not a kid, by the way, he's grown up. But they're still your kids no matter what, right? So anyway, I brought these home, and after the filters and the jute twine, and it was just sitting there, and And so were these sitting over in another place, and I just picked them up and I thought, oh, I think those would look nice on my journal cover. And so now I told him, I said I have a little piece of his beautiful table always as a memory on my journal cover. So that's my journal cover, and then I made a little closure for it with rubber band and some more jute. And so that's what I'm going to be working out of. And so yeah, I like I said, I'm going to really try to keep up, and I will come back and show you what I've got going for the first effort here. Yeah, I'm not at all sure that I like this white elastic on here, but for now it's all right. So we'll leave it go at that, and as I said, I will be back to show you the start of my project. And I'm very excited and pleased and tickled to be, you know, joining in with this group this year. I had so much fun watching so many of you working last year on the art journal prompts, and so I decided this year, you know, there's no more waiting. I'm just going to jump in with both feet and see what happens. So here I am. So thank you for being with me. Thank you to all my new subbies. Hello. I appreciate you very much. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the content of my videos, and share and with your friends. And I do appreciate all my subbies, excuse me, old and new. So hang with me and we'll get on to the project. Okay, I'm back. Because I'm so very slow, of course this video is going to have to be done in sections, and maybe even 2 parts, but I hope not, but we'll see. And what I'm going to use is, I was watching Noit the other day, and I will leave a link to Noit's channel in the description box below. And she used a technique that was just so interesting and cool to me. So I'm going to try to manage a page with using that technique. And what she did to start off with first is she used a stencil, and she stenciled the pattern on her background in white, just white acrylic. I think she used white acrylic paint, or it was either that or it was gesso. I'm not sure, white gesso. But I'm going to be using white acrylic paint. And then when she stenciled that on and got it dry, then what she did was she had makeup, lipsticks and eyeshadows and things like that that she used to, you know, the white acrylic paint almost was like a resist, although I could tell that some of the color was, you know, going over it, but it really came out so pretty. And like I said, I will leave a link below so you can see how Noit did it, because it was a lot more explanatory, I'm sure, than what I'm going to be able to do for you. But I've taken a page out of my journal that I showed you, and this is just mixed media paper. I don't know what weight it is or anything like that. And so I'm going to begin by using my stencil. I've picked out a couple stencils here. I'm not sure what I'm going to use yet, but as a matter of fact, I'm not sure about much of anything with regard to this page. So I'm going to go ahead and do the stenciling, and I will maybe get a couple of, you know, seconds of it, but everybody knows pretty much how to stencil, so I'm not going to bore you with all those kind of details. And then after that's done and dry, then I will go on to the next section. But first, let me show you this plastic, or I mean cardboard piece of packaging tub is full of makeup that I has just been sitting. Some of it is years and years and years and years old. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to try Noit's technique, because I thought I have all that's sitting in there that I don't use anymore, and it's just ridiculous to have it all sitting in there. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to try this, and hopefully it will work. So let me just get some paint out here, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to see if I can stencil this pattern down, and I've got a couple sponges here. I thought the sponges might work the best that I cut, so we'll try that. And like I said, I'll you know, do a bit of this, and then I'll just go ahead and cut to the next section, so that you aren't bored to death with watching me stencil. I will just continue on here, and I'll come back to you whenever I have the pattern that I want down on this paper and dry, so that you can see the next step. Well, as you can see, I have a myriad of colors of makeup out here, and I found a bunch of lipsticks as well. I'm just ashamed of myself. Some of this has never even been used. Anyway, so here is, and I think, I'm hoping that you're going to be able to pick this up. I think you can. But you can see the white on white where I did the stenciling. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to give this a go and see what happens. I have some makeup sponges here, and I have also these little, they are earplugs that I found in the dollar store, that people wear when they are at a job or whatever that has a very loud volume sound, and you can wear these to kind of muffle that. So I got those out as well, or I have them here as well. I don't know whether they're going to work or not work or whatever, but we can try to find out here together and see what happens. So I'm almost afraid to try this, but I'll tell you folks, Noit's just turned out so beautifully, so I'm going to give this a shot and see what happens here. I have, what do I want to say, metallics. That's really not the word for it in makeup, is it? But I have some that makeup that's kind of sparkly, as well as matte finish. So yeah, that's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. So I'm not even going to change the sponge here. I'm going to see what happens if I bring a little bit of that over top. Oh, that, I like that. That's kind of pretty. And I'm thinking, I'm not 100% sure about this. I'll have to go back and actually look at her video again, but I'm pretty sure Noit. Yes, I'm positive, because I do remember her saying now, if you don't have a fixative, use the cheapest hairspray you can find, and or that you can get, or whatever. And I thought, oh, okay, I gotcha, because that sounds like, you know, right up my alley. Okay, so let's see if I can put in some, let's see. I mean, I have a lot of makeup here, but not a lot of different colors, I've noticed. I must have been in a complete total rut with my colors as far as my makeup went. But that doesn't shock me either. Get in a rut. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that's pretty. And this is really cool because, you know, it said, oh, let's see how it blends, and it does blend. I mean, it blends with the other color. It's weird, but it sure is fun. Thank you, Noit. I'm having a blast doing this. So I don't have fixative, of course, but I do have, I'm going to try one of these, this little thingy here, and see what happens. Let's see if we can put some, let's see if I can put some of that on with this. I don't even know which end to use. Oh boy. It's a total experiment here, people. Oh, that's kind of different. I'm not sure I like it, you know, with using this thing to put it on with, but we'll persevere here for a minute or two, see what happens. Yeah, it's not so bad. It gives it a different, gives it kind of a different texture, or a different, I guess the word's texture. Who would have ever thought that I would be using this makeup for such a purpose? Let's give it a shot with the tip, this end that you actually put in your ear. Let's try that. Let's put a little bit of it up here. It's okay. I'm going to try it with the makeup sponge. Oh yeah, that's much prettier with the makeup sponge. Much prettier. So I'm going to kind of go over what's already down. Just kind of blend it a little bit more. I mean, it's fine, but I just like it better with the makeup sponge. Okay. Go back in with a little bit of that, more of that blue. Up here. See how the acrylic paint almost makes a resist. It's not quite. I mean, it covers it somewhat, but it almost, yeah. Kind of makes a resist. It's really kind of fun. You guys should give this a try. I looked for some of these sponges today and I could not find any. Okay, let's give this a go. Oh, that green is pretty. Oops. Oops. Oh boy. Well, now I've got a little bit of pink over here, a little bit of pink over here. Oh well. It's really pretty. My favorite color, of course, again, no wonder. I like it. Well, I think that you get the gist of this as well. And in the spirit of not having this video go 5 hours, because you all know how stupendously slow I am, I will go ahead and stop this and then come back to you whenever I have gone from this stage to anything different. So thanks for hanging in there with me. Well, here we are so far, and I had just thoroughly enjoyed doing this with the makeup. So this is what I have so far, and I'm going to go on from here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know whether I'm going to doodle or stamp or what exactly I'm going to do here from here on out, but this is what I have so far. I ended up putting some kind of gold shimmery on here as well. You can see here and here, and I ended up putting some of it on just with my finger, and used some more sponge, makeup sponge, and I really love it. I think it was a lot of fun. So I will continue on and come back and show you what I have here in just a little bit. Okay, I think I may have lost a little bit of footage there. I'm sorry, but what I've got now, or what I've done so far here, is I've got a, I found a focal image in my stash of these real pretty, I'm thinking they might be water lilies, I don't know, but anyhow, it looks like they are watercolors. And I also was gifted some of this real pretty trim, satiny lace embroidered trim, and that was from Peggy Strong, and so I put that on there. Did a little bit of doodling in this flower. I kind of liked the background just real soft like that, and so I didn't end up doing any stamping yet or anything, not saying that I'm not going to, and these butterflies aren't fixed down yet, but I kind of like the butterflies. Anyway, so that's kind of where I am so far, and I was doodling around the inside of these really pretty water lilies with my glitter, my gel pens here, just kind of very, very softly, just giving them a little bit more of detail, kind of going around where the watercolors are kind of laying. And I'm liking it so far. It needs something. You know, of course I'm gonna, you know, do a border around the edge. I'm not sure what yet. And it does, you know, close up just fine. And I'm gonna lose my butterfly, but so that I can put it back into my book. But then I was thinking to myself, that's kind of silly because, well, I guess, yeah, I guess it'll go back in the book okay. I'll have to see how that goes. But so far, I like it, and I will just keep going on. I just stuck this down since it's just like a sort of a magazine piece. I stuck it down with mostly glue stick, and then I just put these down behind the image there. And like I said, I kind of like that a lot, but I need something yet, so I'm going to continue doodling here on the little flowers, just kind of going around, like I said, just real softly. I guess I just like the softness of this, the real muted, you know, look of it. So I didn't want anything like in your face, so we'll go on from here, and thanks for hanging with me. Okay, here I am again, and I thought I would show you just where I'm at right now and what I am doing. I don't know how the lighting is right here where I am, but hopefully it is okay. And what I have done is I've taken my my new portfolio oil pastels, the water soluble ones, and just a water brush, and I've gone around the central focal point and the lace, and just deepened it a little bit, put a little bit of darker pink around there. I've also gone around the little butterflies with some sparkly, some of my sparkly gel pens. I don't know if it's going to pick it up. Yeah, you can pick it up there just a little bit. And I put a tiny little bit of Wink Estella on the lace applique pieces, kind of just on the ends a little bit, just to make it a little bit more shiny. And then I'm putting some of my oil pastel in the purple color. I do apologize for the violet, it's called. I do apologize for the shadow there. And I'm going around my flower. I doodled a little bit in the center of the flower with some of my glitter gel pens as well. And and also up here I did some glitter gel pen as well, and I'm going to go in, add some color into the petals of those flowers. And I decided against stamping. I kept looking at it and looking at it, and I thought I just don't want to stamp on it. But there you can also see where I went around the focal point with some glitter gel pen as well. And I'm really enjoying doing this, and so far it's turning out Not, of course, anything like what I had in my mind, but it's turning out, I'm liking it, let's put it that way. So that's where I am now, and I will keep bringing you in every time I do the next step. But yeah, this is where I am right now. I put a little bit of highlights around the butterflies as well, just kind of with the end of my little finger, and tapped some highlights around the butterflies. And I don't know where all else it's going to go from here, but that's kind of where I am right now. So I really appreciate you watching and hanging in with me, and I'll continue on, and hopefully it'll be finished soon. It's finished, and I'm excited it's finished. And I'm really happy with how it turned out, really happy. And I just I'll show you here how I finished it out. I did end up doing some stamping, just very, very, very faint stamping in the background. You can see I did it with distress ink in the peeled paint. I didn't want to do black because the colors are so soft on this particular page, and I thought if I did the black it would really bring it to the forefront instead of leaving it in the background where I kind of wanted it. I should have stamped when I was thinking about it, and put it, as an underlayer, but I do like how it turned out. It turned out fine. I chose to leave some of the initial stamping or stenciling with the white acrylic paint. I chose to leave some of that alone, and then on other parts of it I chose to go ahead and color it a little bit with my portfolio water-soluble crayons, and I used those, and I really liked using them. They were a lot of fun to use, and I just basically took a little water brush, well, you saw, and just kind of dabbed it on the end of the crayon, and filled it in where I wanted it to go, and so like I said, I'm really happy with it. I think you can see some of the glitter pen that I used on it in different places, and where it kind of sparkles. At least I think you can see it. And my word that I chose, that I really need to adhere to this year, or make a valiant effort to do, is trust. That's really hard to do for a fixer like myself. You always want to fix everything, make everything right, make everything better, and sometimes you have to just trust the Lord to do that for you. And Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says it all to me. So that's my very first Nina Ribena Art Journal Prompts and More. That's my first submission, or my first effort that goes along with that Facebook group, and so I'm very excited, and thank you once again, Nina, and until I visit with you all the next time, God bless you. Bye.